Hi, and welcome to Best in Tesla News, episode 292. We have got US politicians that want to ban full self-driving cars. And we have some more reviews of BMW's Neue Klasse EV that seems to be a big step forward for BMW. And we have the winners of the global BEV sales for the first half of the year. And can you guess which model is on top? And Audi keeps dreaming of autonomous vehicle, but it might be only that. Dreams. And Stellantis is scrapping their 100% EV goal by 2030. What a surprise. And Volvo's CEO is coming out with a warning about big changes in the industry. And we got some more news about Tesla's Robotaxi. And Tesla is bailing out Canadian automakers once again. All of this and much more in today's episode. Start right in.
Let's put our living stereo stylus in this groove.
We have US politicians that want to ban full self-driving cars. The US Republican Senator Josh wants to ban driverless cars and says he'll introduce a bill on it soon. I think we ought to ban autonomous vehicles. The spread of driverless cars is not safe and would be terrible for working people. Oh my God, but as Sawyer also wrote, 40,000 Americans die each year in car accident. Self-driving cars have already proven to be safer than human-driven vehicles. A draft text of the bill has already been written by Harley. It's called the Autonomous Vehicle Safety Act. The bill, as drafted, would effectively ban driverless cars nationwide by requiring the presence of human safety operators in any autonomous vehicles driven on public road. Harley says if autonomous vehicles becomes the norm, the Teamsters union won't exist anymore. The bill has a pretty small chance of moving forward, especially since the Trump administration has already started to work on a framework to make it easier for autonomous vehicles to get approved and operated on public roads. It is just insane to me that the senator is even thinking this, as there is 1.2 million people that die every year in traffic globally because of human errors. And we are only getting more and more distracted by phones while driving. If someone should be banned from driving, it should be us. And there is a clear path to full self-driving cars being many times safer than us humans. Even though Waymo gets stuck in traffic from time to time and does some stupid things, they are still very safe cars to drive in. Waymo does not have any fatal accident yet, and they are doing 250,000 rides every week. So I think it's safe to say that Waymo's Robotaxis are already safer than humans. So since it is us humans that are killing over 1 million people every year, it would make more sense to ban all human driving without supervision by an AI system than banning autonomous vehicles that are already safer than humans. So yes, I agree with Sawyer. This has a very small chance of moving forward, not just because of the administration already moving in the other direction, but simply because it makes no sense. But luckily, we are seeing that full self-driving cars are moving forward, as Sawyer also shared on X. Tesla has officially received approval from the Nevada DMV to start testing autonomous vehicles, robotaxis, on public roads. Today, I confirmed directly with the Nevada DMV that Tesla's application to obtain a testing registry recertification was approved by the DMV of Business Licensing Team yesterday. Autonomous plate and registry certificate were also sent back to Tesla yesterday. Next, the official start offering robotaxi rides to the public in Nevada. Tesla need to complete a self-certification of operations, step to roll out service similar to the ones currently operating in Austin, Texas, where there is no one in the driver's seat. This approval shouldn't be difficult to get. Nice. Tesla is moving forward, expanding to more areas. And have you ever wondered what is really out there on the internet about you? Like, really out there? It is wild, because after I learned about Incogni, the sponsor of this video, and have been using their service, I found out that even though I typically use VPNs and other privacy services to stay safe online, Incogni has found my data at 116 data brokers. That is pretty scary. But thanks to Incogni, they have removed my data from 113 of them over the past year and still have 3 in progress. So if you are not trying to protect your online privacy as I do, just imagine how many data brokers have your data. This is something that I personally think everyone should do, because just think of all that personal gold in the hands of identity thieves. They could open loans, or worse, in your name. And how do they get it? From these data brokers. They are like the black market of personal information. But you don't have to let them keep that power over you. Incogni do the heavy lifting for you. They are like your digital bodyguard. They'll find where your data is being sold, and they tell those data brokers hands off. So this is really something all of you watching should do. So click that link down below. You will not only support this channel and take back your privacy, you will get a massive 60% off with the code BESTINTESLA. It is a no-brainer for your online privacy, right? So if you are tired of being an open book in the digital world, click that link, use that code BESTINTESLA, and let's lock down your privacy together. Trust me, your future self will thank you. And we have some more reviews of BMW's Neue Klasse EV that just seems to be a big step forward for BMW. But there are still a few bugs. I already talked about BMW's Neue Klasse EV, the next iX3, that has some insane specs like 400 miles of range and 500 kilowatt of charging speed. But Kyle from Out of Specs Review, they just made a long review of the car that they got access to. And overall, they really like the car and think it puts BMW back in the game. Their interior feels great, and they like the screen. As Carl said, it makes sense when you sit in the car because the screen kind of follows the steering wheel, so make it easy to see. And they thought the software has got really good, still a bit complicated and has some lags, especially when they do animations between screens, which they thought BMW should drop altogether. I completely agree. I hate when animations takes too long. It should be subtle and fast. But overall, they were very impressed with the car and all the tech and good starting price. But the catch is, the driver assist feature has not really gotten any better from the old BMWs. So if Tesla get approval for full self-driving supervised in Europe, that could make this car completely obsolete, and might give it a hard time in China as well, with all the competition that is there, including Tesla's cars with full self-driving supervised. But if you want to learn all the details and all there is to know about the BMW iX3, I will leave a link to Carl's video down below. Definitely go check it out. But the Tesla Newswire also did a little comparison between the Model Y and the iX3. And as you can see, with the long-range version all-wheel drive of the Model Y, they have about the same 0 to 60 and top speed. And as I mentioned before, the BMW does have a huge battery, so that is where it gets its long range from. The Model Y is actually a tiny bit more efficient, but BMW smokes the Model Y on charging with 400 kilowatt. But as far as I know, I don't really think there is any chargers that can do 400 kilowatt here in Europe. But that makes the charging very future-proof anyway, so that's really nice. BMW is a much heavier car, probably because of that much bigger battery, and has much less cargo space. But where Tesla shines is what is included in the price, as I also talked about in my review of the Model Y when the refresh came out. Even the standard version of the Tesla cars, you just get so much included. And this is where you can also see the BMW suddenly explode in price. If you should have something that is similar to the Model Y, as you can see, a ventilation ventilated seat, well, that's not even possible in the iX3, but you can have heated seat, but that will cost you $320. In my opinion, that is something that should be standard in a premium car. I mean, come on, BMW. But anyway, 3-zone air condition comes with Tesla, but you have to pay $1,900 for that in the BMW. And you can see that you have to pay for everything down the list here, from premium sound, glass roof, ambient light, illuminated grille against Tesla's light bar, and suddenly the BMW is about 16,000 euros more expensive. Some might argue that the BMW is 16,000 euros more luxurious than the Tesla, but the real big catch with the BMW, for me anyway, is that it will never be able to drive itself. So if you live in the US or China, the two biggest markets on the planet, and as I showed in the Overflow News Show, China is BMW's biggest and most important market, where they are shrinking, but coming out with an EV in China that does not have any kind of full self-driving features, I think is going to be a deal breaker for many customers in China. But we have to wait and see how it does when it comes out, because it is really a nice EV. But does it come to market in a full self-driving era in 2026? And therefore be obsolete as it comes out? Well, we have to wait and see what happens. But if we are looking at who is leading the EV race on a global scale, well, some might think that Tesla has fallen with all the articles about Tesla's collapse in sales and demand problem. But Tesla is still leading the way. So the Tesla Model Y is still by far the all-dominating force on the global scene. There might be countries here and there where Tesla is not doing well, like in Germany, but overall, on the global scene, there is no one else that has a success story like the Tesla Model Y. Here is a chart from Clean Technica showing the EVs for the first half of 2025, including plug-in hybrids, which of course pollute the picture a bit. I would love for them to make this on a pure BEV only. But anyway, as you can see, the Model Y has sold 544,620 units. The next pure BEV on the list is Tesla's Model 3 with 268,748 units. And then we have BYD's Little Seagull that cost less than half of the Model Y, and in China is only 1/3 of the Tesla Model Y. But the Model Y still outsells it with about twice as many units. So Tesla's Model Y is still by far the best-selling EV in the world, and probably still one of the best-selling cars in the world. Yes, Tesla's Model Y sales are down compared to last year, just as expected and predicted. Remember how I said in the beginning of the year that Tesla's shutdown of the Model Y production line on all factories could easily cost Tesla 100,000 units in the first half of the year, or even just in Q1. And Søren Bascher also showed back in April this very nice chart that I also talked about that back then, trying to explain that Tesla will likely be down quite a bit this year because of the refreshed Model Y. As he showed, if Tesla shut down the production line of the Model Y that stands for 65% of Tesla sales for about 3 weeks and then ramp up production again to normal levels, then Tesla would only be able to hit around 361,000 units in production in Q1, which was exactly what they did. They hit 362,000 units produced in Q1. So just in Q1, Tesla was down in production about 72,000 units just in Q1. And then they are still behind for the rest of the year until they can produce more than they used to by at least 72,000 units in a quarter, which we are yet to see. So of course Tesla is down. That is not a surprise. Anyone talking about Tesla sales are down like it's something newsworthy are simply not paying attention, as in Q2 Tesla actually produced as many units as they did in Q2 of 2024, 410,000 units. But that still leaves Tesla down 72,000 units in production. And inventory is of course not filled up to normal levels, so Tesla sales will also be behind even more, as production is down 72,000 units, but inventory for the Model Y was basically empty by Q2, so Tesla only had what they produced to get out to customers. And some of the cars they produce take 2 months to get to the destination. So filling up inventory will take much longer than ramping up production. system. So as you can see on this chart from Clean Technica from July 2024, Tesla's Model Y did sell about 80,000 units more in 2024 than here in the first half of 2025. But that should not come as a surprise at all. You can see the Tesla Model Y is close to the same level as in 2024, only down 7,000 units, from 275,000 to 268,000 units. So the big drop in sales is on the Tesla Model Y. So if Tesla's fall in sales was all political, why are basically the same amount of people buying the Model 3 but not the Model Y? Yes, exactly. This is just stupid. The reason why Tesla is down in 2025 is because of the refreshed Model Y. There might be some people that don't want to buy a Tesla because of Elon Musk, but that has always been the case for the decade that I have been following this company. And if we look in Europe, well, the Germans might be acting a bit more childish about it, or want to help out their German OEMs that are struggling and firing people and closing plant, who knows. But overall, in Europe, Tesla Model Y is still the best-selling BEV by a huge margin yet again. So yes, Tesla is down, and they will probably be for the rest of the year, as 100,000 units is a lot to catch up to in just half a year. But they are still the one that has the model that most people in the world wants to buy. So having people talking about a demand problem for Tesla's cars when they have the best-selling BEV model in the world just seems so stupid and misinformed to me. I did make a deep dive into all these numbers in a video this week, so if you want to learn more, check that one out, link down below. Audi keeps dreaming about autonomous vehicles, but it might be only that. Dreams. As Alex wrote on X, Audi CEO Döllner dreams of autonomous vehicles. In an interview, the CEO states in September, we will share our strategy on this topic with management and employees. I can already say today autonomous driving will be a focus topic for us. We are aiming for level 3 up to 130 km per hour on the Autobahn. I expect us to achieve this goal by 2030. So this is no longer a distant vision, but is now being implemented very concretely in the industry. Who is telling him that SAE Level 3 is not autonomous driving, but just a driver assist system? We heard so many promises from German automakers CEO about autonomous driving technology, and they never delivered. Instead of delivering, first they once again make wild claims for the future. Yes, back in 2017, Audi promised Level 4 autonomous cars on the road in 2020. But as Alex continues, for example, from Mercedes-Benz in 2014, 11 years ago, autonomous driving can be compared to the leap from horse-drawn carriage to motor vehicles, says Dieter Zetsche, the CEO of Mercedes-Benz in 2014. In a few years, cars will be able to move around completely freely. And Döllner said, if you can watch a film or write emails or hold a video conference at 130 km an hour, this will significantly change how we use cars and create new business models for us. At CAE Level 3, the driver must be able to take full control of the vehicle at any time, and watching a film would be grossly negligent because the react time required to take control would be significantly reduced, making avoidable accident inevitable. This is particularly true when the systems are based on immature technology. To date, Audi's many visions for autonomous driving have not become reality, and there is no sign of valid approach to change this. CEO Döllner admits we have set ourselves a very ambitious goal for autonomous driving in the past. We did not achieve them, but we learned a lot. We are taking with us from that time a special knowledge of the decisive key technological factors. But according to the haters, it is only Elon that has promised and not delivered. Why are they never talking about the legacy automakers? Here they are actually admitting they didn't achieve what they promised. But as Alex said, let's assume somehow Audi managed to achieve this in 5 years by 2030. At that point in time, Tesla will have provided full self-driving at SAE level 4 and 5 in North America, Europe and Asia. They promised too much a decade ago, but now it seems like they really don't get what is coming over the next couple of years from Tesla and what you can actually do with level 3. This will no doubt be too little, too late. And let's squeeze in the last short news topics into this news show. Yes, it's time for the Tesla shorts. Sawyer shared that UFC champion John Jones, who has nearly 10 million Instagram followers, posted a video of him using full self-driving supervised in his Cybertruck. Man, this cyber beast is a straight-up game changer. Bulletproof, ridiculously quick, and dead silent. Drives itself too. No more traffic tickets for you, boy. Yeah, there is nothing quite like the Cybertruck. Like, literally. And solar installation grew 64% year over year in the first half of 2025. Not bad. And we saw in Australia what I have been talking about would happen when full self-driving come to Europe. People will go from autopilot to full self-driving supervised, and it will feel like it comes out of nowhere and just blow people's mind, just with an over-the-air update. As we could see, just happened for Gareth in Australia.
Alright, see that car there? It's no longer a car anymore. It's just been awakened. It's now a full-on robot. And it's going to take me for its first ever drive right now. So it's taken its first steps basically. So let's go see what it does. What is happening? Look at that. Full self-driving down under. Nice little touch there by Tesla with the upside down animation. So press and hold. Okay. Oh. My goodness, there's a car coming already. Oh, okay, good job. Yes, all right. It's another Tesla. Look at your friend. Wow, look at these animations. This is crazy. Okay. Oh, there's a little bug in here. All right. Nice and smooth. You know how to get out? Bro, I can't believe you're driving. What is going on? It's its first steps. Is that a mosquito? Oh no, we've brought a passenger. Okay. I like that it's chill because there's cars here. See, there's a car parked right here and there's a roundabout here. Man, you are just so confident, aren't you? Man, my heart is racing. My watch is about to die. All right, let's watch this. Look, I have full faith in it already. You're doing such a good job. What is my heart rate? 127. Great. All right, yeah, wait for this car. So there's a car coming in the roundabout. You drive so well. Look at you. All right. I can't believe this is happening. What is going on? I have to say, it's very weird. There's a car crossing the road. See, autopilot now. Oh, see, autopilot now with this car waiting there would just slam on the brakes. You could never use autopilot along here. But now, this is so incredibly, wow. These lane changes are so smooth. It's like having the most professional chauffeur drive you around. These animations for the traffic lights also look, wow. That is so detailed. That is so incredibly detailed. So my car has just almost woken up.
And Stellantis is scrapping their 100% EV goal by 2030. What a surprise. Like most other legacy automakers, they are backtracking on their very ambitious EV target. But apparently, it is only Elon that is late and doesn't deliver. But all legacy automakers have been promising the world and deliver 20% of what they promised. Like GM that promised 1 million EVs in the US this year, but they will probably be more like 250,000.
Do you think that you can catch Tesla by 2025? absolutely felt.
Or maybe you remember this list I showed before of all the legacy automakers that promised full self-driving car basically 4 to 5 years ago. And everyone basically thought they would catch up to Tesla in EV sales, but have all backtracked on their targets, and Stellantis is just joining the list. But it's not only me that is saying that the old boys are in trouble. Håkan Samuelsson, CEO of Volvo, was out talking about how the car industry will evolve over the next few years. As he said, there will be new dominant players, exactly as Ford, GM, Toyota and Volkswagen were in the old world. In the new world, there will be 2 or 3 very strong Chinese brands that makes the room for the old ones tougher. So this will trigger a wave of restructuring. Some companies will adapt to the new circumstances and survive, others will not. Yep, the paradigm shift is real, and not everyone will survive. And Tesla Chance also shared a nice little list of Tesla's achievement in just the last few months since they launched the Robotaxi fleet. If you don't experience Tesla's Robotaxis firsthand, it's hard to imagine how fast it's expanding. June 22nd, Austin, the official launch of Robotaxi. June 28th, Austin to self-drive delivery to customers. July the 14th, Austin to expand first round of Robotaxi geofence, rise flat rate pricing plan. And July the 30th releases rate difference by distance. July the 31st, Ride Hail officially launched in San Francisco Bay Area. August 3rd, Austin expands second round of Robotaxi geofence. August 26th, Austin expands Robotaxi geofence a third time. September the 4th, Austin confirms highway driving of Robotaxi. And September the 5th, Robotaxi app now available. And to add to Jan's list here, the app became the most downloaded travel app. And on September the 11th, as I talked about in this news show, Tesla has officially received approval for Nevada as well to start testing Robotaxi on public roads. All of that in less than 3 months. Just if someone should have forgotten just how fast it is actually happening. But there is actually one more thing that is happening with the Tesla Robotaxi, as Sawyer also reported. Tesla is now giving some customers the opportunity to take a Tesla Robotaxi ride to the factory to pick up their Tesla directly at their new Giga Texas customer delivery center. Be among the first to take autonomous ride in Robotaxi at the end of September. You and your family will have the exclusive opportunity to experience our latest technology, followed by your Model Y pickup. This is very cool and a great way to show the new customers what their cars are actually capable of. And Tesla is bailing out Canadian automakers once again, as some companies in the countries are constantly failing to reach mandate minimum sales target for emission-free vehicles. These mandates are specifically to help reduce the environmental impact of gas-powered cars. In Canada, 20% of new car sales in the 2026 model year must be of an emission-free powertrain. This number will eventually increase to 100% of sales by 2030, or else automaker will pay a substantial fine, $20,000 per vehicle. So remember that target Stellantis just said they can't do? Well, get ready for some big fines then, or send more money to Tesla. As Brian Kingston, CEO of the Canadian Vehicle Manufacturers Association, said, the only manufacturer that would have a surplus of credits is Tesla, because all they do is sell electric vehicles. A manufacturer has to enter into agreement with them to purchase credits to help them meet the mandate. Tesla has made just over $1 billion this year alone in automotive regulatory credits, which is revenue acquired from selling these to lagging car companies. Kingston believes that Tesla could be looking at roughly $3 billion in credit purchase to comply with the global regulations. You know, the credits that Gordon Johnson said back in 2018 and again in 2020 that would dry up very soon, because he actually believed all the legacy automakers and their EV targets that they have all backtracked on. And here we are 7 years later. Tesla is still cashing in on EV credits because the old guys can't keep up. And Tesla's Model Y is now also available in Glacier Blue in the Middle East. Nice. And Hacker Green the Only shared this post Interesting messaging shift in 2025.32.3. Now the drowsiness and lane departure alerts suggest full self-driving, like lane drift detected. Let full self-driving assist you to stay focused. Drowsiness detected. Stay focused with full self-driving. Nice. Like I said many times before, in the future, it will not be legal to drive without a system like this that can supervise you. And Elon had some big news about SpaceX this week. SpaceX will do orbital refilling several times next year with Starship version 3. Because we are simply docking with ourselves, this is a much easier problem than docking with the space station, which SpaceX already does several times a year. Can't wait to see this. It's going to be so cool, especially live stream via Starlink. And Waymo showed them doing some freeway driving in the rain. So that was very cool to see some progress from Waymo. And Tesla has announced that by the end of 2026, it expects to have around 4.5 gigawatt of grid-forming battery storage operating across Australia. According to Joseph Taddick, Regional Director of Tesla's Energy, APAC, says that this figure is expected to double again in the future as grid-forming battery energy storage system becomes a staple of Australians' energy system. Tesla confirms that it has over 4.5 gigawatt and 12 gigawatt hours of grid-forming battery energy storage system in the pipeline across Australia, with projects in various states of development. And it all started all the way back in 2017 because of a tweet and a 126 megawatt hour battery. And here we are, and Tesla has over 4,500 megawatt hours of battery storage operating in Australia. Tesla has surely come a long way, but their energy business is only getting started. And Robinson shared a Raffles Food for Less distribution is using Tesla semi-truck. RAF Food for Less refers to two separated grocery store chains, Food for Less and Raffles, both owned by the Kruger Company. So this is a new one for me anyway. So if I'm remembering correctly, there is at least about 12 companies right now using Tesla's semi-trucks. Very nice. And Tesla Archives shared Tesla is shaking up the Japanese EV market. Tesla sold 980 EVs in Japan in August, more than doubling last year's figures. Might not sound like much, but Nissan, the longtime leader, saw sales drop to 1,120 units, nearly half from a year ago. So if these two trends continue, Tesla will overtake Nissan quite soon. And Tesla made some price cut off the Model 3, so it's now available for around $35,000 with subsidies. Tesla expands offline presence, 24 stores now, aiming for 30 by the year end and 50 by next year. Tesla's January to August sales hit 6,590 units, surpassing its 2020 record with a 30% EV market share. Nissan Leaf, once dominating since 2010, sold just 193 units in August due to no updates since 2017. Tesla boosts consumers' trust with exclusive charging network and AI self-driving test in Japan. Yes, it seems like Tesla is doing very well in Japan. And we can see that the Chinese are still not self-sufficient with their EV sale. They still need to raise capital, as NIO announced it will issue a new share to raise about $1 billion. They plan to issue up to 181 million Class A ordinary shares. So even though they are making great EVs, they still don't earn any money on them and don't have a sustainable business just yet. And Polymarket wrote, Elon announces Tesla will begin manufacturing transformers. And Tesla's Optimus account reposted and wrote, I was always meant to be Optimus Prime. And before we end off with a bit of fun, I just want to make a quick shout out to all supporters of this channel. Thank you so much for all your support. I couldn't do it without you guys. Yes, thanks for all the support, no matter if you're a Patreon, executive producer, or member of the YouTube channel. It all keeps this channel alive. Thank you. And let's end off with a bit of fun. When you clean your house for hours and then get reminded you got kids. that is all we have time for in this news show. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button. It really does help this video out a lot so others can find it on YouTube. And if you did like it, maybe you want to consider hitting that subscribe button, notification bell, so you don't miss out on future videos just like this one. And if you're already a subscriber to the channel, thank you so much for the support. But if you want to support the channel even more, remember you can, for as little as $1, become a patron of this channel, or become a member of the YouTube channel to get a shout out as some extra perks like early access, ad-free versions of my videos, exclusive videos. So hit the members button or check out Patreon to find out more. And don't forget to follow me on X. I post pretty much all the news as it comes out and a lot more. And check out the merch store to get some merchandise and support the show. It is also possible to support the show without becoming a member or a patron. There is a donation option down below or on my website bestintesla.com. You can also become an executive producer and get news articles, exclusive videos, behind the scenes, and access to all my research charts and spreadsheets also on bestintesla.com, or as simple as hitting the super like button. And thank you for watching. And until next time, take care out there and be nice.